Starting it now. Hey, welcome in, guys. How you doing,
What's
Austin?
good?
What is good?
What's good, everybody? How y'all doing?
Hope you
I
all are
hope
doing
that you're doing
fine.
well.
hmm
Yep. All right. Let's see. My name is Austin,
My name is Josiah.
and we are the Super Cinema
Super
Demon
Cinema
Slayers. Demon
Demon
Slayers.
Slaying.
It's not like the new Demon Slayer movie is gonna be like a way better movie or anything.
Oh, the one that we might probably
Um,
reviewing next week. You mean? I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, to be honest,
So
like it's nothing's gonna beat Mugen Train, but we'll talk about that.
yeah. We'll see. I mean, probably not at the box office, that's for sure. But we'll
Ooh,
see.
yeah, I know, right?
That movie was a smash hit. That movie was the highest grossing movie, I believe, in Japanese box office history.
It's crazy. It's crazy that they've not done the same thing over again. I was fully expecting. Okay, a side tangent here for a second. Mugen
I already
Train.
know. I already know. I already know.
Mugen Train was a small arc in the Demon Slayer anime, and they're like, you know what? Let's make this into a movie event. People get in there, have fun for I don't know 90 minutes. Yeah, and then it winds up being a smash success. And how many animes since then? This is like what 3 years ago. How many animes since then have done the same thing and made goo gobs of cash?
Yeah,
Zero,
I don't know.
zero.
How was that Solo Leveling movie, the catch up movie? It was okay, right?
It's fine. I mean, it's just like three older episodes and then one or two new episodes. I mean that's even what the
Yeah.
second Demon Slayer, maybe even third Demon Slayer movie did.
Can we not talk about those?
Yeah.
I'm
Anyways,
having a
I
good
mean,
day so
I
far.
guess technically Jujutsu Kaisen did like a zero story, so it's kind of
Yeah.
it's almost that. But yeah. Anyways, back to K-pop. Kansamida Demon Slayer on on
K
Netflix.
K-pop no Yaiba. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to give a quick do you want to give a quick summary of this movie? And and after the quick summary, we will go straight into spoilers. So we're not at spoilers yet, but just in a few minutes, we're gonna go straight into spoilers. Would you like to summarize what this movie is?
Yeah, I'll give you a
네.
little summary.
감사합니다.
All right, so at the beginning of the film, actually done in quite a nice fashion, we wind up learning that there's a world of demons that are on rampage, trying to like basically take the souls of humans to fuel their great master. I forgot his face. We'll figure out his name in a minute. And so to combat that, there have been these female trio of singers, well, actually demon hunters that are like masquerading as singers, but the singing is actually a part of their demon hunting, going back for who knows how many generations. So, anyways, they give us like a quick flyby of that. We wind up meeting the three main girls that are demon hunters slash very like I guess top of the top pop stars currently, and yeah, they got to figure out a way to deliver this final song to put like a permanent protection over Saul and I think maybe the world. Um, and so things don't go exactly as planned. Something else happens that may be in spoiler zone, but we'll get that. We'll get to that in detail. Does that give you enough that you need to know about the movie, or do you want more?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. I think that works.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into it. Josiah, what did you enjoy about this movie?
I actually enjoyed quite a bit of this movie. I thought, I mean, one, okay, Sony Studio. Look, I'm a big fan of the Across the Spider Verse, Into the Spider Verse, Across the Spider Verse movie series, with Beyond the Spider Verse coming out in like what 2027 or something like that. Sony as well. They have some. some similar designers. I don't know as much about story and animation, but probably. Anyways, there's some similarities between the movies. You can tell this movie has taken a lot of inspiration from those films, which I think is appropriate since it's the same studio. But I think makes it a bit of it its own to some degree. Anyways, yeah, visuals I liked. I did wind up liking the characters. I think the songs wound up being overall pretty fun. Um, Biggest couple other things would be they understood, I think, what people really like about K-pop slash anime, and kind of were able to distill it down into the movie. Mm, and I think it does a pretty good job of kind of getting you in, getting you out within the time frame. It's a little longer than what was it? I think the total runtime was like almost 2 hours, but I think that's taking the credits into consideration. So I'd have to look and see like what the actual movie runtime is. But um, yeah, there's some good action in there. There's some humor that winds up landing for me, and yeah, I can be a sucker for the dramas, and so it does wind up taking a good amount from those. So, but yeah, I mean, the biggest things wound up being like it was fun to watch. Character designs were cool, and the songs were fun. Um, Nowhere near a perfect movie, but those are things that I like about it. How about
All
you, man?
right. Let's see. I like the animation. Um, I'm a sucker for good animation, so I really like the
Hmm.
animation. I thought it had a consistent pastel color palette. I like it when movies are kind of consistent. This
Mm-hmm.
this movie kind of reminds me of similar color palette as like Bullet Train, the Brad Pitt
Okay.
movie,
Yeah.
or even John Wick 4, the Osaka part. I
Yeah.
thought that
Yeah.
they did the colors really well. And just some things like like the voice acting was done well, all of that stuff. The action scenes were done pretty well, and
There's some good camera
it's a
work
con-
in
it,
there with those action
yeah,
scenes.
there's some good camera work, and it's it's a tight, pretty compact movie. In fairness, I was watching it at 1.5 speed because I had to finish it before I could get on here and talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like
And it
I felt
works.
that it was at a I felt that it was at a good pace at 1.5 speed, and I slowed it down a couple times. Like, wow, these songs are kind of slow. If I had to watch this at regular speed, I might feel like they were dragging it out a little bit.
Mm,
So,
that's
but then
fascinating.
again,
Yeah. We'll yeah we'll
I
have
was
to
under
cover that.
a time constraint, so like I didn't really have a chance to watch it full movie. So,
Fair.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold that against the movie.
Mm-hmm.
My schedule conflicts. That's my thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I don't. I mean, just the technical execution aspects of the movie I thought were done really well.
Yeah.
And so I'm a sucker for those types of things. I'm a sucker for good animation. So I thought that was done well. And the voice acting was done well, competent, well, whatever. Character design, all that stuff. I thought it was done well. That's pretty much that's pretty much where I would land on in terms of what I liked about the movie. Um all right. What did you what about the movie did you find lacking? Or did you just outright dislike, if anything?
All right. Let's bust out my notes a little bit for this one.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got this long old shopping list of things now. It's not too bad actually.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating that you said you watched it at 1.5 speed, and you did note that it was the song specifically that felt slow. I think at the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie, the way it set up the characters and even kind of going from shot to shot, I thought it was moving a little quick. Like especially the very beginning of the movie, there were it's seemingly changing shots like every like 3 seconds for a few like sequences there, which is fine. I mean, they wanted to keep up the energy, but who knows? Maybe my brain is just growing old and slow, and I'm like, oh my god, everything's moving so fast. It's probably it's probably more of a product of how we consume things nowadays. That yeah, they can't have long shots. You've heard the story before. You know, Hollywood doesn't do long shots anymore because of our attention span, which I could feel that a little bit. I think there were a couple points where the actresses singing voices were maybe a little further away from their character voices, and I know this is not like a big flaw or problem or whatever. It's the known fact that when it comes to animation, often who's playing the character in their normal dialogue is going to be different from the actual songs. That even happens in Disney stuff. Um, there were just a couple points, like when Rumi, I think, was practicing the sort of like, what was it, revenge kind of a song, take down. When she was like
Mm-hmm.
opening into that song, I was like, who is this singing for half a second there? Um, all right. So I guess the biggest things would be it's it's the story itself, the plot itself. It's not doing anything beyond that you've ever seen before. Which
Right.
I mean, look, maybe it's true of every story that we wind up ever seeing. Um, so I don't give it like that harsh a critique for being like, okay, all right, we got humans and demons. Demons aren't going to be turning out as bad as we expect demons to be turning out, which also, like we were talking about Demon Slayer earlier, is a very big thing prevalent in that storyline as well. Um, but yeah, things kind of follow what you may expect, but there are some twists and fun moments um, that do still happen. But the like writings on the wall for how events are going to transpire, and when
Yeah.
that does happen, it really falls to like everything else to keep the movie up for me. The character performances, the characters themselves, animation, yeah, and how entertaining it is overall. And so I think it still held my attention overall, even though it was like, okay, these things are gonna wind up happening. And it winds up happening. Villains were probably one of the like weaker things for the movie for me. I mean, it's done okay. You have your like big bad. Oh, and by the way, maybe we just head into this and say like, I
Oh
guess
yeah.
I,
By
I
the way,
guess I,
hang
I
on,
guess I
hang
can
on.
keep this spoiler free for the moment. I'll keep it
Oh,
spoiler free
I
for
was
the
about to
moment.
say. Okay, so after he says his spoiler free part, from that point on, spoiler alert. All right,
Yeah, yeah,
continue, please.
yeah. Well, yeah. So by the end of the film, I'm like, okay, the villain was servicing the story and wasn't like the star of the story or the point of the story really in any way, shape, or form, which is fine. I think it just again maybe it's true of most stories. The villain just kind of serves as a plot point or a vehicle for delivering whatever message it is the storytellers have through the main character. And yeah, I think the other things I want to cover, I think I need to get into more detail. So you hit me with some of the spoiler free things that you felt that were maybe, yeah, lacking for you.
That I didn't like,
Yeah,
honestly. So, I feel like for this review, we can talk about what we like, what we didn't like, whether we would recommend it. But for this particular review, and I mentioned this to you earlier,
yeah,
I need to engage in some cultural commentary.
okay,
So
yeah,
we'll get into that in a minute. As
yeah,
far as what I disliked, there wasn't a whole lot that I expressly disliked as far as the movie itself is concerned. Um, the plot moves really fast. The main guy interest and the main girl interest, they connect really quickly,
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm,
remarkably quickly, and then they
yeah,
have the
yep,
song together. I'm like, all right, that's a little quick, but it's all in service to the movie because otherwise it's gonna be like 3 hour long movie. It's got this movie is like just a little bit over 90 minutes or something like that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, in service to the plot, we got to this truck's got to move. You
Hmm.
know what it reminds me of? Whenever I notice a movie moving really, really, really fast,
Yeah.
it always reminds me of the difference between watching Steven Spielberg's Hook as a child versus watching it as an adult. When you watch it as a
Mm.
child, it just feels like a movie moving at regular pace.
Yeah.
You're not picking up on the speed of things necessarily. As an adult, though, watching that movie's plot, the narrative is moving at light speed, Mach 5. I
Mhm.
was like, oh my, oh, like, bing, 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 bing. Everything's happening so fast because it's like a 90-minute long movie or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's been doused in
It's
that
not that
pixie
long.
dust.
Oh my goodness. It's like I don't have time to sit with anything. Everything's happening so
Mm.
fast.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I still think it's kind of a classic because it's like a 90s, it's kind of like a 90s classic.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for Hook. Um, there's a lot of like stories that I would like to make. The intersection of Dragon Ball Z and the Saiyans and the Lost Boys and the mythical magical world that I may or may not have come up with when I was 12 to 14 years old.
Ooh,
Um,
okay. Wow.
oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. I had I was putting stuff together. But for this movie, yeah, I mean, there's some things that move really fast, even at point 0.5. Well, I mean, okay, so I was watching the point 0.5 speed, so maybe that made it feel like it was
I
moving that
still
much
can't.
faster.
I still can't believe that.
Wow, this relationship is taking form very quickly.
So
You know,
fast.
yeah.
I don't have time to
But
really
it's
sit with
funny.
things here.
I know, right? The songs felt like they were normal speed, and I went back to regular speed. Man, this song is really slow. Especially like that end song and
Okay,
their little
okay.
love song or whatever. Anyway,
Dude, that's what happens when you watch something that's at super speed. Because I do that with the audiobooks, and when I send it back to like normal speed, it's just like moving like a sloth, you know?
fair enough. Okay, so but again, that's not really a critique of the movie. That's just the way that I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't honestly, I don't have a whole lot in the way of critique.
Okay.
I feel like it accurately depicts, I mean, somewhat accurate. I mean, for the purposes of this movie, it I want to be careful how I say this because I know people that like K-pop, but I feel like this movie accurately depicts kind of
I
weeb
don't know the way you
culture.
said that. Oh, okay. Yeah.
K-pop
Mm,
weeb culture,
yeah.
and which is very similar to anime weeb culture. Um,
Yeah,
there's
I was
definitely
definitely thinking
parallels.
about that too. Uh-huh.
There's a lot of overlap,
Yeah.
and so um,
Have
yeah,
you consumed much like Korean animation or Korean manhwa?
a little bit, not a whole lot. I
Yeah.
normally stick with Japanese manga,
Yeah, I've
but
not consumed that very
again,
much either.
a lot of this movie felt very, very Comic Con for me. So
Hmm.
like the fan reaction and stuff like that. So that's not my chosen niche or subculture that I like to indulge myself in or engage in.
Mhm.
Um, so no disrespect to anybody who does. Um, I do have some cultural commentary coming later on, but
Mhm.
again, like that would be a plus of the movie because it captures the type of people that enjoy that music most fervently.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's casual listeners to K-pop, I guess,
Mhm. Mhm.
but yeah. I mean, this is a critique just on a person like K-pop is not really my kind of music, and I'll get into why. But eh, the songs are pretty like that soda pop song. Like it's just I feel like they're not even songs. I just feel like they're jingles for T-Mobile commercials. You know, like all right, whatever. Go get you an iPhone. Go get you an Android. You know what I mean?
How dare you disrespect the
Uh,
culture?
I, culture? Yeah. Hold up, bro. Hold up.
Oh wait. That's spoiler zone. Let's get back. Let's get well. Put a pause in it. Put a tack in it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that. But like,
All right.
yeah,
All right.
honestly, like to be
Yeah.
honest with you, like there's not a whole lot that I disliked about the movie, given its
It's positive.
premise. given its subject matter,
Yeah.
and given the world that it created, it's fine.
Hmm. Totally. Totally. I agree. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
so would
So
you want to move on?
I,
Then? Yeah. Yeah. To add on to that, yeah, I agree. I agree as well. And yeah, it was nothing like I don't know. You have to check out sometime Neza and Neza 2. Those movies were, I think, like truly unique. This one was fun. This one was fun. They both all three of these movies I'm talking about do what they do at least competently enough that you don't really have major criticisms. But I will get into some more details, some nitpicky things as we move forward. Do you recommend this
yeah.
film to people?
Um, yeah, I mean, if you like K-pop, um, I need to be careful what I say.
Okay,
If you like T-Mobile commercials, then like this is the film for you. Um,
let me translate what he's saying.
uh,
He's saying if you like the a B version of things, you might enjoy this movie.
like if you never lived in if you didn't grow up in the 90s, and don't, like, if you have no concept that like you're recreating something that existed 30 years ago, all right, eh, yeah, enjoy it. If you were born after 2000 or whatever, and you have no concept of like a world before you, um which is increasingly the case, because by that time they grew up and the internet was already a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When I grew up, I watched in syndication what my parents watched in prime time.
yeah.
So we had a shared culture. We were listening to the same music. um, there was a branching off in the 90s, but yeah, like in my formative years, in my most formative years, I shared the same culture as my parents did. And I guess that's true of most kids in their most formative years. But but I feel like that's becoming less the case. But that's a separate conversation. Um, as far as people who would like this movie, I mean, if you like K-pop and um, yeah, if you like K-pop, this is a nice little send up to you. Um, yeah,
I
I'll
think
save.
I
Yeah,
agree. If you have any interest in K-pop, K-dramas, even any other almost Asian drama, because let's be fair, there's quite an overlap when it comes to most Asian dramas. As is, there's an overlap with Asian dramas and non-Asian dramas. But there's certain story structure things that happen in this movie that, uh, especially if you're into K-dramas, you will probably appreciate. That said, I don't know. Maybe you've seen so much of it that you're like, it may not interest you anymore. But I think you may like the stuff already, right? Um, and then if you like anime, if you like Sailor Moon and Card Captor Sakura and even elements of like shonen anime and manga and stuff when it comes to like the action and stuff like that. Um, you may enjoy this.
yeah.
Now, the last thing I'll ask is, do you recommend this to somebody in our demographic or our age range, or is it like a smash recommendation for the like target audience that I imagine this movie was made for?
Yeah, I feel like this is more a movie for the target audience. I'm glad this is a direct to Netflix movie or Netflix movie,
Hmm.
which means that you don't need to see it in the theaters. Because I'm not sure that I would recommend seeing it in the theaters. Um, um, I don't know anybody our age or in our demographic that's really rocking K-pop like that.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I would say if you really like good animation and you don't really care what it's about, just that it's good animation,
Hmm.
yeah, check it out. Um,
Yeah, that and I think the music would be why I would, if it were in theaters, be like, you just go check this out. This is going to be fun to see on a big screen, on a big, experience.
I mean, these songs are for little kids. They even have like the sing along, like the complimentary sing along on Netflix.
Oh, a
So
version
you
of
can
it?
just sing
Okay.
along.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm partially saying this because I work at a school, I work with young kids, and they're all singing this song. This has replaced Let It Go and We Don't Talk About Bruno. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
soda pop, 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 whatever. And so I don't think
Oh
the
man.
songs are up.
Genobi 21 says they did some theatrical viewings recently. Looked like fans went to check it out on the big screen.
Oh,
That'd have
all
been
right. Well,
cool.
good.
That'd have been cool. I would have wanted to check that out. Maybe someday in the future I will. Also, you're
And I
not
might,
wrong. All the parents online keep posting about their kids singing the songs. Hey,
yeah.
yeah. Look, at least this movie
So
has more than one good song. With Frozen, it was. I mean, to be generous, I think there's a couple of fun songs, but we were really just hearing the one song. Same thing to some degree with Encanto. It's got several fun songs, but you only really hear. I think maybe you hear a couple more from that one. I think that one maybe
I
doesn't have
think,
like the standout "Let It Go" song.
yeah, I think as far as like songs and enjoyable music and stuff like that, between what Frozen, K-pop, um, K-pop Demon Hunters, and what I say, Encanto, K-pop Demon Hunters, and like Frozen, Encanto by a landslide for me, as far as like songs I would want to listen to, and just in a movie in general. I thought Encanto was a really high mark for like Disney animation, and so
Hmm.
that would be easily every day of the week, twice on the Lord's Sabbath. I would pick Encanto. Like it's not even close to me,
Over
and
watching
so
K-pop Demon Hunters again,
and Frozen parts 1 and 2.
and
Like
will.
it's not even close for me.
That's
It's
for
like
sure
yeah.
for me too. Yeah, yeah. I would
Yeah,
say though with
Encanto is quite good.
against K-pop Demon Hunters, I honestly like the action and things happening more in this movie. I mean, Encanto's like beautiful in a number of areas, but it doesn't
Right.
really satisfy the kind of like shonen desires that you might have that I would have when watching something. So
Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, the fight scenes in this movie are really good. So, they're
yeah.
really well executed. So, yeah, I give him credit for that for sure.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of critiques for the movie itself. Um, if you're into K-dramas and if you're into K-pop, and you're into like cheesy humor, um, yeah, like this would be a fine movie for you.
Mhm.
Cheesy is subjective. To me, it's super cheesy. It's like I don't even want to say it, but like it's it's kind of like the way,
You bringing up
man.
anime was very appropriate. Because there's certain animes that like feel very much like this, where it hits that same level of cheesiness. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I yeah. There's a fair amount of cheesy. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Um, I want to be careful what I say, but
Mhm.
yeah, if you fall into that category broadly, then you'll probably enjoy this movie.
Okay.
I don't know how much staying power this movie has. For people that aren't young children, I feel like you watch it once and you're good. Like I don't unless you just really really like the songs, but then you just watch the sing along. I guess.
Mm,
Um, if you really like the song, so I guess you have that option. You don't have to watch the movie all the way through. So
yeah.
that's that. I don't really have much more to say about any kind of negatives. Um, I mean, it would be the most extreme nitpicking. It's like, how come every time somebody's wealthy and successful, like they gotta live in Stark Tower or the Fantastic Four Tower?
Hmm.
The Avengers Plaza
Fair.
or whatever.
Yeah, they are pretty high up above the city in there where they live. Yeah.
I
I mean, is
guess.
that just what rich people do? Super rich people, pop stars? Like y'all are you all just living in high ivory towers? I mean, I guess out
I
here in
guess.
California, they're like in the hills and stuff.
Right, but is that really a critique?
No, no,
Not
it's
really.
more of like a designed convenience for plot moments. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Which
You
then
know, the whole
we'll head into. I agree with what you're saying. I'll also add on as far as recommendations. Yeah, like I said before, if you like K-pop, K-dramas, if you like anime, like Sailor Moon, and to some degree Demon Slayer itself. If you're someone that's into shonen, I mean shojo, with some elements of shonen, or if you're someone that just loves beautiful animation, loves amazing character designs, loves cool like outfits and like fashion and stuff like that. Yeah, you might want to check this out. Now
yeah.
let's head on over into our spoilers section.
All right. I don't know. Like, what, they win. I don't know.
Okay, let's jump. Let me jump
Uh,
off of that. Let me jump off that. They win, and a part of me is like, that was too easy. Look, they break up the crew. You know, there's a fun moment where there's the K-pop entertainment awards or whatever. They're supposed to have this duo, this almost dance off, sing off kind of competition thing going on, and it goes awry. The big bad, whose name I was actually looking up a half a second ago, um, don't even matter. I'll find it in a second. Flame Mouth is what I'm going to call him for the moment. Yeah,
he's like the angry guy from Inside Out. That's kind of what he reminds me of. I didn't
he's
see the movie, but I just know the guy. I know the character.
anger. He's just anger. He's just straight up anger.
Yeah, anger
Um,
slash Cookie Monster. Like whatever.
hmm yeah. So I mean, we have the K-pop boys, the K-pop guy group. Their main leaders, Jinu. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the group is the Sasha boys. I don't know what Sasha means. I'm sure someone will be like, "Oh yeah, it means something very appropriate for whatever they are."
Very very masculine, I'm sure.
Very very masculine. Yes.
Not
Versus
not
Huntress,
not not a tinge of androgyny.
not at all. Oh,
Anyway,
I guess it's Guima was the king of the demons.
Gima is
Gima,
how they're pronouncing it.
Gima. Yeah.
Okay, so about
He
that,
he sh- he show he shows up. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
just pronunciation note. The difference between G and K in Korean. I took a year of Korean in college, so I know this. It there's a hard K sound, and then there's like a K sound that's somewhere between a K, a soft K, and a G. And so they're saying Gima, they're spelling it with like a W. That speaks to how it's written in Hangul, which is the writing system of
Hmm.
Korean.
Got it.
So there is a very specific way to say it. I don't even know that I can say it correctly with my accent. I haven't practiced Korean in a long time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Same.
just in English, it's Gima, but
Yeah.
Gima, like again, I'm not doing justice to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why it's spelled that way, and that's why it's pronounced that way.
Hmm.
Because in English, particularly American English in general, there's a hard distinction between the K is always a hard K, and the G is always a hard G depending on the word. And it's not those sounds. There's a lot more blending of those sounds in the Korean language. That just a little side note. All right.
Got it. Got it. It's like in our language, there's the
Yeah.
hard R. Sometimes I'm just joking.
Whoa.
No.
Dang.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that does make me think though. in Korean, when I was in Korea, time and time again, I was like, wait a second, are they saying what I think they're saying? But no, so I guess I in Korean is like nega or something like that. I was hearing
So
it.
ne,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So ne is like the I think the casual way of saying I, and then the ga part is like the article that connects the topic, the subject to the subject, to the topic,
Yeah.
to the noun and the adjectives and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Grammatically speaking. So like you say janun, that's like I think that's more formal. But yeah, you like nega da 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 ne, and then the article ga. So I mean I
So
don't know
no
why I'm
no
sweat
hard
like
no hard R in their situation. I
I don't know why I'm feeling nervous about saying this. Like you and I are told we're good. We're good. We can say this word all
the
stream
whole day
long.
long. Uh-huh.
It's not a problem for us. I don't.
Celebration. Celebration.
Yeah,
We can say it as much as we want.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know why. Like like yeah,
Nigga.
nigga, yeah,
Nigga. Please explain.
nigga. Please explain. Yeah. So like
Uh,
we're good, but like yeah, for some reason I was like, I gotta be careful how I'm saying this. Like there's
yeah.
black people saying this on YouTube 24/7. Like it's not a problem.
Not even an
So
issue. Yeah.
anyway,
I was
anyway,
yeah. So like that the story is like yeah. I was hearing people saying that all the time around me, and I was like, it took me a hot second to realize that was like just them talking about themselves. So I was like, is it because I'm around right now? Like, like you'd be like, look, I know it's one versus I don't know 3 million right now, but I got good odds on myself at the moment.
it's like that. It's like the the Itachi shuriken. He just pops out. You just walk in, just pops out your jacket sleeve. You, come again? He's
Okay,
hey,
do I
nice to meet
need?
you. Da, 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 da. Give it to your friend. Just keep
Uh
walking.
huh.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
just unleashing
Yeah,
a nasty Tsukuyomi on the whole country.
yeah. The world
Hmm.
will know pain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Super Cinema Naruto Shippuden broadcast. We're
Mhm.
glad to have you. All right, so yeah, I don't have much.
So okay, I
Yeah,
was, was gonna
I don't.
say about the Gima. Uh,
Yeah,
Basically, long story short, man, they dispatched that fool so easily. Look, I know it makes sense within the story. More or less, the ending sequences. Our main character Rumi is like the last person to not get taken over by the villain because she is accepted something about herself and she is plot armored from the villain even controlling her, which they never explain fully. But
right.
um yeah, so she more or less she sings a song and it takes out the villain. She's able to call her friends back from being kind of turned to the other side. And then our lover boy Genu helps out the last second when she's about to get obliterated by the super omega beam, the mouth
Gives
beam, which is important that villains do. Only villains do mouth beams against her, and yeah, I mean, I think technically they don't say that he's destroyed. I think it's possible that he's just shoved back down into the demon world, and that maybe gives a
yeah.
possibility for a sequel or something. But it could go either way. Either he's obliterated or he's shoved back down the demon world. But it's just one song, and it's like right at the end of the movie, and it's kind of like it's just too fast in some ways for me. It's just too fast.
Yeah, it's very, very fast. But like I don't the movie's only like an hour and 40 or 38 whatever minutes
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
Things can't move too slow, otherwise the movie
No,
won't end, or it'll just end so abruptly without any conclusion. So
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
maybe it's a more of a
that pretty
testament to they potentially they picked and chose what was more important for them to spend more time on, knowing that they had a lot of story to get through in this time frame. And I think with all the story they have, it's done well, but there are a number of things that I feel like I wanted to sit with more. Like I wanted to get to know the other girls more than just Rumi. It becomes pretty clear that Rumi's the main character. I wanted to get had the relationship you said between Rumi and Genu to be more felt out and more earned, and a couple other things. And these are
Right.
fallen by the wayside to some degree because of the time constraint.
Yeah. So I thought of another negative, potential
Hmm.
negative.
Yeah.
If animators were taken from the Spider-Verse sequel to work on this movie, oh yeah, I got crazy problems with this movie.
Mhm.
If the reason we're not getting the Out of the Spider-Verse until 2027 is because they're working on this movie, yeah, I got a problem with this movie. If that's the
Mm,
case, I don't
mm,
actually know if that's the case, but
I don't know
I'd rather
either.
go back and I'd rather go back and rewatch Across the Spider-Verse than this movie again.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, yeah,
personally.
yeah.
That's not even a knock against this movie. That Across the Spider-Verse is just a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Um
I've heard this movie
so
was being developed for a long time. I don't know, like, how much of it, like maybe even 7, 8 years. I don't know how much of it was in like full active development, or if after the Spider Verse they transferred over here to like finish it out while Beyond the Spider Verse's story and other things were being figured out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I
yeah,
haven't heard about that,
who
but
knows?
I did hear, and I didn't hear that this happened with this movie back in the day with Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2. They did steal a whole year of development from Incredibles 2 and gave it to Toy Story because Toy Story was going through some writing problems. But that's a grievance that I'll bring
Mm,
up at another time. I didn't hear that happen for this movie, but I'll have to, I could look deeper into it.
yeah. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got as far as negatives. It's not a whole. I really don't have much. It's a pretty solid movie for what it is. I don't have much.
Mhm.
Nothing that really like stands out to me because so many other things stand out to me
Yeah,
that have less to do with the technical aspects of this movie or
yeah,
the craft of this movie.
yeah.
So,
So it wasn't necessary,
um,
but I wanted Rumi's, I guess, I don't know, heritage, family, parent, situation to be explained a little bit more. I was half expecting Genu
Gima to
to
be the
be
father.
like her father. Or yeah, Gima
Oh,
could have been her father or something. They
that's what
didn't
I
go
was
that
thinking because
route.
he's like the big bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's probably would be more common in a story where it's like the big bad took on human form and like, was with a human or something. Which, for
Yeah,
the demographic, they wouldn't go into much detail on something like that. But um
yeah. Tell me this: did this movie at all remind you of The Fifth Element at all? It kind of reminded me of The Fifth Element in some parts of it.
hmm,
Like there's this big bad thing that's coming to destroy everything,
fair.
and they have to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something very specific.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Fifth Element, they had to put all the elements together, but in this case,
Yeah.
all the girls have to come together, and they
Yeah.
have to like
Yeah.
sing a song that's gonna push back the bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
There's a girl that's
that
very, very special, within the world, within the story as well. That's like a key.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of bears some similarities. Not not at all in a bad way. It's just like I just kind of like I'm just kind of reminding me of The Fifth Element a little bit. Just an interesting side note.
Mhm.
Yeah, not really
Yeah.
a good or a bad thing. Yeah, I'm really on the movie itself. Aside from the technical aspects, I like good animation. The movie itself, I'm pretty neutral on. I
Mm.
mean, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I didn't have any issues with it per se.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the film craft of it. So yeah, but
Yeah. Let me
when you're ready,
actually open into a few things that I really liked about it.
okay.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, as the film did transpire, especially at the beginning, even though I said it was moving fast, like I think it put forward very likable characters. There was some comedy that I was enjoying, like them. I guess yeah, flying on the plane and like discovering that the demons were keeping them away from their performance, and you know how that whole Lamyan scene went down. I think it was pretty cool that, and some of these things were maybe intuitive, but I still thought it was cool that their like fight scene was in the form of like music video, along with a lot of their song fight scenes and stuff like that. I think it's yeah, it's like it's right there. You need to do it, and I think they did it well. Um, I did enjoy the designs of the demons overall. At the beginning, I thought they were more interesting. I was like, oh, they kind of have this almost clay sort of texture to them. But as the movie went on, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's not as prominent as I was thinking. Like, it's okay. Um, there's some really nice sort of like lighting design, environmental like fog moments that went happening, effects. Uh, I think when Rumi and Genie were in the at like a garden sort of lookout, and they're all kind of having like a crush moment, right? But right when he grabs her wrist, yeah, the cinematography was looking really nice. Like they had them in great focus, and the background was in like a nice soft focus. uh you were bringing up the colors, the pastel color palettes. They were using that a little bit, pushing more into like blues and purples during that scene to give it sort of a calmer vibe. I thought was executed very very nicely.
Yeah, it's very K drama
Yeah,
ish.
they 100% got the boy band and the individual personalities down like to a T. They got the lead, who's all around nice and cool, whatever. Maybe it's like the big brother almost of the group. They got the like super muscular guy. They got the guy who's whose hair covers his eyes 100%. They got the and yeah. I mean, look, this is just a reality of the situation. They got the like child faced looking b-boy slash rapper character of the group.
Listen, gentlemen, gentlemen. If a woman ever tells you that, like, oh, women are just more mature than men and they just develop fast, like, if you ever hear any of that, if you ever hear any of that, just remind, just think about these K-pop boy bands, and sleep easy for the rest of your life. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if they ever try to like talk down to you, like you're like beneath them in terms of emotional intelligence or cognitive intellectual, like, just remember this movie. If this movie does nothing else, it's just like, yeah, like, it is the most cookie cutter, cranked out of a factory, off the assembly line, effeminate androgyny, airbrush thing you've ever seen in your life. And if that's what you like, then that's what you like. That's fine. But don't ever let any woman your age talk down to you. Like, that scene from Rick and Morty's like, your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what you applaud. I've seen what you cheer for. Like,
Yeah,
that's what I'm feeling in this moment.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I get it. All right. Uh-huh.
So, gentlemen, stand tall. Know who you are. Um, you're fine. Don't take any kind of condescension from any of these, especially if they like K-pop. Like, don't take any crap from any of these, any of the fair sex. Like, don't. You're doing just fine.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, you're doing a-okay. Like,
Hmm.
you have nothing to prove.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good.
you're all right. You're good, man. Hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so this movie amazingly captures that. And look, I guess I mean it's probably a criticism or maybe a desire that would be asking the movie to be more mature, but I think it would have been cool if it better encapsulated uh, some of the underbelly of that machine. Um, this movie
Yeah.
is
Oh,
mostly strictly just praising it, but maybe if it were an older, aged kind of film, it would have captured, some of the
yeah.
drawbacks and negative elements of it.
Gentlemen, just understand that there are some women in the world that are attracted that want a boyfriend that can also be their girlfriend. I don't understand it. Don't ask me how we got to this point in society and culture.
Mm.
I'm just telling you, for whatever reason, I mean, why was Steve Tyler so popular with women? Why was Michael Jackson so popular? Why was Prince so popular with women?
David Bowie.
These Dave, oh my goodness, Ziggy Stardust, right? Why were these, super effeminate, androgynous dudes, so attractive to women? I don't know, but it's the same thing with a lot of these K-pop. They're all airbrushed. They all got mascara. They all pluck their eye. It's all very, very effeminate. And if you like that, you like it. Just gentlemen, don't don't ever compare yourself. Just you're good, bro. Don't worry. Just do you, man. Put that hard hat on, hit the construction site, pound some concrete, provide for yourself and for your family. Like you're good, bro. You got nothing to worry about. You have nothing to prove.
Not at all. Look, I'm gonna give
Yeah,
you a
and
deep dark secret of that's not a secret of the K-pop world. If you ever feel like you want to compare yourself, South Korea is such a small country, and everybody knows everybody else to such a ridiculous degree that basically these studios, by the time a girl or guy leaves high school, knows who you are and knows they want to bring you into their company if they haven't already. Yeah. So look, yeah, 100% listening to what he's talking about right now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like you don't. I mean, you don't have. Don't feel like you have to be a woman's boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, no, it's okay to just be the boyfriend and understand that there's some women that are just attracted to that, and you don't have to play that game. I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe nobody. I just feel the need. Somebody out there probably needs to hear that. Like, you don't have to fulfill that role. Like you're good. You're good. Like, just it's all good. Do you be you? That's all I'm saying. I don't
yeah,
know who I'm talking to. I'm sure somebody needs to hear that. I
yeah,
don't know who, but yeah, it's okay. You can be who you are, and you don't have to feel like you have to fit this kind of mold or whatever. Because this
yeah.
mold is not reality. It's a fantasy. It doesn't really exist.
Hmm.
Um, every single scandal with a J-pop or K-pop or C-pop star, when it turns out that they're actually human beings who want real relationships with other people,
Oh
because
yeah.
apparently they're not allowed to be in, like, yeah, this is not real. I think most
Mhm.
people know that intrinsically. I'm talking to like maybe that one guy or whatever who's trying to get with that one girl who's really into this thing and buddy, just do you. Be you. Love who God has made you and called you to be, and you'll be all right. And that's all I got.
That's right, man. That's right.
That's all I got.
Which did
Yeah.
remind me, there are many things of the fandom that they wound up capturing in this film, including the fan pair ups that wind up happening. So
Oh
yeah, in the
yeah, 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 yeah.
middle of the movie, Rumi and um,
Genu.
is it Genu? I thought it was Oh yeah, Genu. It is Genu. Genu. Yeah, they wind up touching feet under the table, and the fans are all standing there. They wind up seeing it, and they make
Someone took a
something
picture.
big up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, that's done perfectly well. Like, look, you talked about capturing the like Comic Con esque, weeb sort of culture. Like, look, 100% it was captured. Even the like ajumas, like the older grandmas, digging the boys and stuff like that. They captured it, put it on screen. So it's like they definitely knew the culture and the fan base and got it out there. Um, a couple other things that I
Right.
thought were really cool. I mean, look, it actually was very fitting that it was a demon boy band. One small critique though, I'm not super deep in K-pop and all its fandoms. I had a time period like a decade and a half ago where I was listening to like I don't know, Wonder Girls and Sonya Shide and stuff like that. Um, I never got personally that the boy bands and the girl bands were against each other. I always kind of felt like the girl bands were against the girl bands, the boy bands were against the boy bands. I don't know if that's something a little bit more different. And I guess to be fair, if it's like an award ceremony, I guess technically everyone's going against everyone. But I always thought it was just yeah, girls against girls, boys against boys. So I was like
Yeah.
a little confused on why they made the boys their antagonists are, but I mean, it makes sense story wise for what they want to have some romance. But I think this movie could have worked if they did do the girl band versus girl band scenario. And I actually didn't even realize, like, I don't think. Well, okay, one other thing connected to that. I don't think the movie did a good job of making me believe, especially when they first introduced the boy band, like why anyone pitted them against each other. Besides the story just telling me they were against each other. Uh,
Yeah, the boy band thing is in itself a complete contrivance. Like, how did they get all this media attention out of nowhere? Because they're demons. I get. It's just like whatever.
yeah.
Either they spent 5 minutes, of a plot exposition, explaining and giving a montage of how they made their way in, but I don't think it really does much to serve the plot of the movie, other than to make it more logically cohesive and consistent. But are you watching K-pop Demon Hunters for logical consistency?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No, not
you're,
really.
you're not doing.
You just want to listen to some like okay. I'm not saying this necessarily to be insulting or to be condescending or belittling. Different cultures value different things. Like in America, this may be just a byproduct of me being American, right? So I put my cards on the table. In America, even if it is like a industry plant or like a cookie cutter generic thing, like Justin Bieber or whatever, there's still like an attempt to make them seem like they're authentic and you know that if they're not writing their own music, that they're collaborating with people that really understand their artistic vision and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It- it- there's a sense to kind of do the whole Jay Z thing, and what I mean by Jay Z thing is like, Jay Z is as a rapper in terms of hip hop and his rap goes. He's known as the rapper who like he doesn't write anything down. He just goes into the studio and just spits it out, right? Only
mm,
rapper to rewrite history without a pen, no ID on the track, let the story begin. You know, he references the fact that he just, he goes in the studio and just has it all in his head and just boom. And, on a side note, that's probably made rap a lot worse because everyone thinks, well, that's the way it's got to be done, you know?
mm,
And so,
mm.
I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna mush mouth mumble rap whatever's on
You-
my mind because
Oh,
that's authentic. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
yeah.
So okay, so there's that. Um, but there's like in America, in American music, artists are always striving to have like this air of authenticity, like
Mm,
Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen, or even like Michael Jackson, or like people that are like kind of the vanguard icons of music. We want it to appear like this is just what they were singing in their backyard, and someone just decided to record it and mix it and master it and put it out for the masses to listen to.
yeah.
In East Asia, from what I've seen, they're totally completely on board with like these girls were scouted. We know we're gonna put them through years of dancing classes and vocal classes. We're gonna pair them with these producers, and we're gonna crank out this
Mhm,
this cookie cutter generic thing, and it's completely Frankenstein together. Um, America kind of got into that with like making the band and stuff later on. Um, and like if we're being realistic, it's probably always been the case. I just think that in Asia they don't really try to hide it under some air of alleged authenticity,
mm,
right?
mm.
They're fine
Possible.
with it. They know it's cookie cutter. It's just as cookie cutter as NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys or 98 Degrees or any of the girl bands or whatever. They're just as cranked out of a factory, but we always want to have like the kind of backstory. And maybe they do that in Korea and Japan and China, and I just don't see it. But it seems to me like they're totally okay with, oh, you're going to get scouted by this agency who's going to put you in contact with this record label. You're going to get teamed up with these people that you've never met before. You guys are all going to come together, and now you're BTS or whatever the case may be.
Mm,
And so I guess they're just more transparent about it. In my mind, it goes as just like this is just generic cookie cutter background elevator music. You know what I mean? But there's definitely a part of that that's kind of comes out in this a little bit. It just kind of makes me think of it.
mm. Yeah.
It's yeah. So like, I don't know. So maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect to me when I listen to the songs because they just sound so generic to me.
Mm,
They just sound so like cranked out, like AI generated, cranked out of a factory kind of feel to it.
mm.
Just kind of generic and and sterile. So I could for
Yeah,
me I
yeah.
couldn't really connect with the songs because it just seems
Okay.
so like yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
my experience from them was I'd imagined for almost each song there was probably an existing K-pop song that sounded like it, and they probably took direct inspiration from it. But because it sounded like what I would expect from K-pop, which we did talk about at one point off the stream. That we were a little surprised they didn't do this in Korean and have the songs in Korean. But I think
There were some
when I
parts
was
of some
listening to it,
songs. Yeah.
yeah,
There were some parts in some songs that actually were in Korean or they'd slip in some Korean,
yeah,
but it was
hmm
largely just English. It was mostly
yeah.
English. And once
But
we
then
get
it
into the
sounded like like Korean songs. So like they did
yeah,
capture it in that sense. That
yeah.
at a brush of audibly, it sounded like a K-pop song would sound like. Let me hit up two details that I thought were cool before I get into one like bigger question. One is oh man, I thought it was actually really cool. There's some fun details in movies every now and then that show that animators and story writers really think about something quite a bit, and I think execute it with a little extra panache. And one of those moments was in the Takedown song. So near the end, Yumi is like singing her solo segment of Golden during the big award show. It's going amazing. It's going well. She's like flying around the audience and stuff like that. And we see that her partners get like taken off screen, um, and we see that her partners chase after their manager, who is seemingly being taken away by a couple demons. Now it turns out that they're all demons, and it was a ruse. And while her partners are like in backstage, too far backstage to get back on and perform, Junie winds up creating a couple like demon, uh, you know, doppelgangers,
Clones.
basically
Yeah.
clones of the two characters, um, of Mira and Zoe. So the fun thing is, so the song changes to Takedown, which is not supposed to. But right as the song comes on, and Yumi is like trying to figure out like, oh, like what's going on. Well, you could see it on her face. She's kind of questioning. Song plays. She just goes straight into doing the dance that they were and doing the performance while she's singing. And it's, I think, really cool that while she's singing, she's expressing and emoting like confusion, but she's lockstep prepared to like do the performance while also figure out like what is happening. I thought it was a cool decision, instead of just having her like standing there and confused while the other demons are performing and then catch up. I thought it was a very it's appropriate that someone in her position that has like performed and learned and practiced to this degree would just fall straight into the song and like try and figure out what's happening, while things are
Mm,
transpiring. It's like a hint at it's a not a hint, but it's an expression of what an entertainer at that level would do. Like if something were going wrong on stage, off stage, and entertainers can see that happening, depending on what it is, they may be trained and professional enough to like keep on the performance while also maybe being curious about what's happening. So I thought that
mm.
was a cool little detail they had in there. Another amazing detail was, I think for most of the songs I'd have to go back and read the lyrics specifically, but when it comes to musicals, the like golden rule more or less of why you break into song is because the character has no other way to express what they're feeling except through song. And I think that for at
Right.
least like half of the songs, I think was the case.
Yeah, like they reached like an emotional crescendo,
Hmm.
and it's almost like it's like, all right, well, we're done talking. It's not,
Yeah.
words are we're done with words now.
Yes.
But in this case, now it's they're singing. So
Yeah.
um,
Which I thought was good, and I thought it was is done well most of the time. I think for a few of the songs I was aware of it. I was like, yeah, I think the song is actually capturing or expressing like what they're wanting to in that moment. Side note, all of this also very much reminded me of the One Piece film was a film Red with Uta. There's
oh,
a
with
singing
Uta,
character. Yeah,
I almost brought that up.
yeah,
Yeah, it does kind of give off that vibe as well.
mm-hmm, yeah,
That's it's for different reasons. In
yeah,
that film,
yeah,
Uta was trying to create a world,
mm-hmm,
create a utopia
yeah. Through her songs,
through her songs and through her power.
which is a perfect
Yeah,
segue. Unless you want to say more about it.
that's good.
So a perfect segue into my biggest question. Okay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but through their song, they create this magical barrier blanket, more or less protecting the city, separating it from the demon world. Their goal is to make it golden, so it's like a permanent thing.
Yeah.
It's called the like Pullman or
Hun-
something.
Honmon, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Now, by the end of the movie, when Rumi near end of movie, when Rumi has almost completely been taken away by the demonic side, and she goes and she meets with her basically adoptive mother. Her adoptive mother is still trying to suppress her demon side, and is trying to say that like it's okay, we're gonna figure out a way to hide this, suppress it, finish the old man, and because the demon side, I don't see the demon side in you. I can't look at you because I don't want to see the demon side of you. And Rumi winds up saying basically that the Omen is a blanket of suppressing emotions and like and holding back reality, something like that. And so it made me wonder if I wonder what that means, what that specifically means. So are they trying to say that this blanket is a suppression of is it an embodiment of like the cultural, I don't know, Korea's version of honor shame, uh to the point where it's like demons, those who have done shameful things, they'll have done broken, evil things that we don't want to be a part of our society, but we don't want to like, I guess, somehow fully address. Like this magical barrier is supposed to separate and like help protect society from those things that we emotionally don't want to deal with. Like, is that, you think
Yeah.
that's essentially what it is supposed to be?
Yeah, are they creating a sinless utopia?
But
Uh,
it's like,
uh
but it's just by
yeah.
like, shipping all the homeless people to another part of the city. That's kind of what this version of the barrier is.
Or forcing them underground. Now it's kind of reminding me of like Fantastic Four, like everyone's the people that were forced underground, right?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Um, yeah. And then what happens when somebody does like a moral infraction on the other
Hmm.
side of that barrier? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like a one-way door? Is it that convenient, you know?
Yeah.
The
So in
movie doesn't get that deep.
yeah. So I
Although it would
mean,
make for an interesting movie if it did. If it did go that deep, it would make for a pretty interesting movie, but it would have to be a much longer movie.
I think it tries to some degree because the only reason why Rumi, well, okay, it's not the, oh, okay, Rumi, she's the child of a human and a demon, and like in a lot of the anime and other things we watch, that makes them a super being, basically the solution to everything. And and this maybe the story is trying to say, if you can reconcile with the the spectrum of humanity, or all the good things that we want to embody and the things that we want to actually, the errors and the problems that we wind up making in life, if you're able to reconcile like the entire human experience, then you have the power to like, eradicate the uh the broken form of society that like is being put forth, that society over generations has installed as our system. Like I think that's ultimately kind of what it's trying to say, and that's how Rumi is able to like take control of her demon powers and her human powers and like eradicate or at least send back the demon lord, eradicate him or whatever, and create a new barrier. Um, I think there's something interesting there, but I don't know. I don't think the movie explores it or explains it super well for me.
No, no, this is a PG movie. Like that would be that would make for an interesting movie, but yeah, it's not trying to be interesting in that way. That's a very specific kind of plot narrative, storytelling. Or I mean, it's just more sophisticated and it's more complex and it would require more time.
Hmm.
And it would totally like change the mood and the vibe of the entire film. It would make it much much more adult themed than something that kids can sing along to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
It would turn into like, yeah. One thing that I kind of wish they'd done, or not wish, but like it would have been interesting because they kind of gave you a glimpse of it when everyone's walking into the Saja Boys concert and everyone's hearing like these negative thoughts and voices, you
Hmm.
know, intrusive thoughts. You're too
Hmm.
much and also not enough and all this stuff. It's like, so is the demon latching on to something that's already there? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right, in order to really do that, you would have to establish a worldview, right? Um,
Indeed.
for it to really be cohesive and to make any kind of sense.
Yeah.
And the movie's not trying to do any of that either. It's just kind of a very generic sense of like these demons are feeding on your insecurities. Um, and it just kind of stays there. There's no deeper exploration as to any of that stuff. Because this is a movie for kids ultimately and like K-pop fans. I don't think they're trying to go that deep. Fair
Mhm.
enough, but yeah.
But you
Interesting
start
questions,
putting
but
some of that stuff forward, and people are gonna have questions about it. Yeah. Because
yeah.
ultimately, when it comes to the fans, uh, it doesn't have a good representation, or it has a kind of a depressing commentary on the fans. Like honestly, what it's saying is the fans are completely controlled by their pop stars, whether they're good
Yeah.
guys or they're bad guys. Like they're completely controlled by their pop stars.
Yeah, it's like it's an enmeshed, enslaved fandom. Um, and actually, I think that's fairly accurate. I remember watching footage.
Mm.
I remember like when I first heard about what AKB48 was.
Yeah.
For those of you who've never heard of it, AKB48 is a large 48 member girl pop group in Japan, and the members would get voted on and off, and there's all this stuff around who
In
gets in, who
Akihabara,
doesn't.
that's why it's AKB.
Yeah, AKB Akihabara 48, 48 girls in like maid outfits and stuff, doing choreographed dance moves and singing cookie cutter songs. And I just remember seeing footage of one of them singing some god awful song, you know, like
Oh, oh
whatever they were
man,
doing. It was awful. I hated it. But
that's
I
a
saw
that's a
footage and
crazy
it
clip
showed,
right there.
yeah, and it showed, they're like just doing all like the generic cookie cutter dance moves from the
Sure.
90s in
Yeah.
Japan J-pop. Just oh, but yeah, in the audience were like these like dudes in their like mid to late 20s all the way up to like their 40s, and they're just there creeping, and it's like, oh, and like they're like totally enslaved to these girls and so this movie is a lot kinder and a lot more charitable to the fandom than what I saw. Just the concert footage, what that would lead. how that would lead me to characterize the fandom, the otakus or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't depict some of the darker side of the fandom in those
Yeah.
regards. Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, I think they depicted kind of K-pop fandom rather favorably, all things considered.
Yeah.
Um, it was the most favorable depiction of kind of their weebdom for some of them. Um,
Yeah.
and there's a spectrum of from less intense to more intense in the what I'm calling weebdom uh spectrum.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean the movie introduces some interesting ideas, but it doesn't really flesh them out because time and audience don't really allow them to. This is a
Yeah.
movie for kids
Hmm.
and for K-pop enthusiasts, and they're
Yeah.
not necessarily trying to explore, um, spirituality, demonology, eschatology, theology. They're not. This movie is not designed to address all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Mm.
we have a demon, big bad demon, but we don't have God. I don't think the word God was in the movie once, which
Hmm.
just tells me that, the demons could have been zombies and the movie would have been exactly the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not familiar enough with Korean folklore and demons and stuff like that to even know if they have a concept of God. I'm sure, but you would think they would, but yeah, not familiar with it.
Yeah. Even in terms of folklore, it's really bare bones in this movie.
Hmm.
Again, it's less than 2 hours. There's not enough time to really flesh that out in a way that adds to the movie, that
Yeah.
benefits the movie.
I think it's there in small
And so,
details, like in the not hot springs, but the bathhouse. I'm
yeah,
sure they like researched and use water demons or hot tub demons or whatever it is that's actually in Korean folklore, and that they represented them, design wise at least.
it's possible. I don't know enough to know one way or the other. Um, but yeah, it purposefully, I would say, I imagine it purposely does not go into any of those deep valleys because it's just the movie is not designed to communicate those messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, real quick before as we get into maybe our final things we're gonna say about the film, chat, let us know. We got a few more minutes here. If there's anything fun or interesting you want to throw out there, or any thoughts or comments. But I'll keep my eye open for that. In the meantime, I'll hit it back over to you, Austin, on some of your final thoughts regarding the movie.
All right. I would like to engage in some cultural commentary.
All right,
And I want to begin with a question. And the question is very simple.
make it so.
What is pop music? That's the first question. And what makes K-pop K-pop?
Hmm.
What makes it what distinguishes K-pop from just pop? Um when we think about pop, again, I'm American, but America creates all this stuff. And not just America, but a specific group of people in America create, innovate, and drive and lead the direction of these things. And then other people come and follow and emulate and appropriate, whatever words you want to use. They come after the fact, right? In the United States of America, the forerunners of most of this music are Black Americans, the descendants of those who were enslaved, going all the way back to, Negro spirituals that became blues and jazz and then R&B, and then eventually you make your way all the way into
Just
the,
a
the
Loretta
funk and
making
soul.
rock. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, like the king of pop is a black man. His name is Michael Jackson. Um, Side note, actually, well, let me come back to that. Yeah, it's just like what makes it Korean pop? Is it the fact that they sing songs in Korean? Okay, so they're doing black culture in the Korean language, and they're if that's the definition, then okay, then it counts as K-pop, or in Japan's case, J-pop. In China's case, C-pop, whatever the case may be, right? Because they're not doing like it's not K Hindi, it's not Hindi music, you know. It's pop, and pop is predominantly an American construct, which is to say, it is a Black American construct. And so I understand this movie was made in the year released in the year 2025, and many of the people that this movie is made for, their target audience, has no concept of any of this stuff because no one ever taught it to them. You know, where does all this stuff come from? This stuff comes from Black folks. Now you can go down the deep dive and like uh, Black music, Black people, K-pop, and go down that. And there's some really good articles and there's some really good um, kind of like uh, exploration of that. There's videos you can watch on YouTube and stuff like that. But like we call it K-pop demon hunters, but like I feel like this is Beyonce and Rihanna team up demon hunters. This is TLC demon hunters, or in the case of TLC, scrub hunters. Um, for those of you who don't know, who are too young to have any concept of history or music, TLC um, was a girl band R&B rap group in the 90s. T-Boss, Chili, and Left Eye. Left Eye was the rapper. T-Boss and Chili were the vocalist. Very similar to what you see in this movie, right? They have a song called No Scrubs. No dusty bummy dudes. That's what a scrub was, right? I would have loved I would much rather have watched TLC Scrub Hunters. That would have been a much better movie to me.
Man, if
Beyonce.
they wrote that nowadays, it'd be terrible because they'd be saying, "No low value man." It doesn't sound as good as No Scrubs.
Fair enough, but like make it an homage. Make it like all the zombies are scrubs or something like that, or all the vampires are scrubs. Bro, you can make
Okay,
this
okay,
amazing.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Michael Jackson, Demon Hunter, bro, forget about it. I would much rather watch that. I mean, if you watch Demon Slayer, who's the main bad guy? Who's the main antagonist?
Oh
I
shoot,
forget his
in
name.
Demon Slayer,
He looks like
well,
Michael Jackson from Smooth Criminal.
it's true.
It,
Yeah,
his character design, particularly when he's walking in that town in that one scene and Tanjiro confronts him,
and he
he's wearing
bumps
the
into
white
him.
suit and the fedora. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's Michael Jackson that's Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal from the
It
80s.
really was 100%.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's a total homage to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson Demon Hunter. Oh, I would go see that in the movie theaters. Even if it was bad, I would go see that in the movie theaters. Absolutely. What is pop? What is K-pop? Does it become Korean because Korean people are doing it, even if they're singing in English and not in Korean? And if that's the case,
Muzan Kibutsuji.
yeah, yeah, Muzan Kibutsuji, look him up. Like and just type in Michael Jackson next to his name, and you'll see all
Yeah,
the pictures. Like
yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
Um, if I start if I start doing karate, does karate become, B karate, BLK BLK karate? You know, because I'm a black man, and if K-pop is just Koreans doing pop music, which is originally pioneered and pretty much invented for the most part by Black Americans,
Hmm. Hmm.
not just Black people, Black Americans specifically. But you can call it K-pop because Koreans are doing it. Then can I call karate black because Black folks are doing karate? Can we
Okay.
hold that same standard?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we would because intrinsically we know that karate came from
Fascinating.
Japan.
Yeah.
But that kind of cultural awareness and understanding goes right out the window when we talk about pop. You know, the one girl, she's
Mm.
sitting there rapping. Bah, 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 bah. Where did that come
It's
from?
true.
That came
Yeah.
from Black Americans. You know, like now if they were saying like K Black music or something like that, I would almost be okay with it because it would be honest. It would be accurate. But just calling it K-pop when pop is a Black art form, Black American art form. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
especially
yeah,
like
yeah.
when again,
So
this
in
movie would have
in
been
a way you're
better.
saying like with Wu-Tang, they're Oh, they're 100% on board and on level with like where their inspiration comes from when it comes to kung fu and stuff like that. And they
Yeah.
and they give their props and they give all the respect that they should and make it aware. So you're saying for this film, you and for K-pop, you feel like you would want them to at least have there to be some level of giving the flowers to the culture that their music came from.
Right. So with Wu Tang's a really interesting example. And the albums, like the skits of the albums were just clips from Chinese kung fu movies, right?
Hmm.
And so um yes, they're wearing their influences on their sleeve, but Shaolin monks weren't rapping. Wu-Tang Clan is still rapping, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm
Um
saying like in regards to kung fu, like they didn't take it and just like not acknowledge the culture that they were inspired by
oh,
at all.
oh my goodness, you can't listen to a Wu-Tang album and not know, oh, these guys are real kung fu film
Yeah,
nerds. It's I
and they
mean
were
it's just
obvious about it, and they were vocal about it, and
oh,
so
very
you're saying
very
like with
very much
K-pop,
so.
you're saying like in contrast with K-pop, it's uh it's kind of the opposite. Like maybe some people are on the level about where their inspirations come from, but maybe
Yeah.
they feel like so much time has passed by that they don't, make it obvious
Yeah,
anymore.
and there's several notable producers that are black Americans that are producing for K-pop. I guess what I'm getting at is like I feel like K-pop is a way to enjoy black culture and black ingenuity and black creativity without having to enjoy or even deal with black people. I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but I'm
Mm,
saying broadly speaking, that seems to be what I'm observing.
mm,
It's like black people are abrasive, scary for whatever reason. But if a bunch of effeminate lady boys want to sit up and dance, or if a bunch of girls want to sit up and put cornrows in their hair and like do a little choreographed dance, then that's like more palatable to certain people, you know? And yeah, it's like so just as a black man, as a black American man, I just watch it, I'm like, all right, like black people already did this a long time ago, and we did it way, way better. Like, so much better. Even if we're talking about like the effeminate androgyny thing, Michael Jackson did it so much better. Prince did it so much better. You know what I mean?
mhm,
We're just doing all this stuff in superior fashion. And so like for me, it's just like K-pop is just like, why am I settling for K-pop? Like I already have a superior product from the source. So it's just weird for me personally to be like, yay, K-pop. Now, um, that's not to say that like Asian folks can't do black music or that they shouldn't or they should or whatever. Like that's uh, do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying it's just like it's just weird to call it K-pop when it's just pop with a little bit of Korean language thrown in for
mhm.
depending on the song. There's
Okay.
just nothing that makes it specifically Korean for the most part, other than the fact that Koreans are the ones doing it, you know, ostensibly via an animated form. There's nothing about it that's particularly Korean as far
Yeah,
as the
it's
art form is
probably
concerned.
I see what you mean. Maybe it's the maybe it's the whole machine that we were referring to of producing these groups
Maybe,
that is like the Korean part in addition to it being Korean people.
right? But like
But then again, I
Motown,
guess there was maybe a similar machine in the '90s, like you were saying too.
I mean, in
I
the
get what you mean.
'60s,
Yeah,
the Jackson
fair.
Five were incubated in Motown. You know, like Motown made a
Yeah.
bunch of bands. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
that was going. I mean, that's been a thing ever since like the 20s and the 30s, right? You had these barbershop bands and stuff. You
Okay.
know, like black people would come up with a song, and to make it more palatable to a white audience, you know, white folks would sing it and make it sound more white. You know what I mean? That's the whole story of Little Richard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, rock and roll, that kind of guitar playing, that was invented by a black church lady in America. You know, she invented that. And so
Yeah,
Yeah,
it may be just an effective time passing in a way. I mean, there's some intentionality, but it may be just an effective time passing. Like you're saying, target audiences for this film didn't grow up with any of what you're talking about. They
right.
would need to learn about
No,
it. They need to be shown about it. All they know
right,
would be the Korean pop, experience and what it is and what it has been, for last couple decades or their lifespan at least. So,
right.
um, yeah. So I
I'm
mean,
just saying it's weird for me to watch it and be like, oh, this would be so much better if Beyonce was doing it or if Rihanna was doing it. Rihanna's not even
mm,
Black American, but like I'm just saying, she's Caribbean, but like we like it's like the whole Taylor Swift thing, right? It's like Taylor Swift is maybe more palatable or more option in a world where Beyonce doesn't exist. I in my mind, I don't see like, oh wow, um, I have Beyonce here and I have Taylor Swift. No, I'm definitely listening to Taylor Swift. Like I don't understand a world where
okay,
that exists.
okay,
That's just weird to me.
yeah.
Um,
So would you feel the same for, let's take Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Would you say, yeah, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? It's I'd rather just have regular Jiu Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is
yeah.
nothing special. Like I don't need the
Well,
Brazilian part.
right. Well, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu it's its own variation of judo and but they wear their I mean, they tell you where they got it from pretty clearly. Any reputable
Okay.
school will tell you.
Yeah, yeah,
We had this conversation about Eminem,
yeah,
like
yeah,
his music or
yeah, yeah.
not, Eminem wears his influences on his sleeve. He tells you exactly who he listened to, where he got it from. His favorite rapper is Tretch from Naughty by Nature, um, who was doing
Okay,
the lyrical miracle stuff back in the 90s.
okay,
Like
got it.
before you said that, I would just say like go listen to Eminem's
Okay,
rock and roll Hall of Fame speech, and he just all he does is just list all like these black rappers that he got influence from.
okay,
That's all it is. It's like an alphabetical order.
okay. So bringing this down to K-pop demon hunters, you had mentioned earlier about maybe the demons or something look like scrubs or whatever. So you're basically asking for them to acknowledge the history of their musical media and for it to be represented on screen, or make it something that like their own, like advance it like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So give the flowers and also advance it. Is that what you're asking for this?
I don't know that I'm making any ass. I'm
Okay.
just opining and commenting that as I watch it myself as a black man who knows where this music comes from. It's just like, oh, I just feel like I'm watching a lesser artistic version of something I could be watching otherwise. Because Beyonce makes better music than the music in this. I'm not even the biggest Beyonce fan.
Yeah.
Um, I think Beyonce has some really bad songs,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like her really good songs are like, oh, I mean, just leaps and bounds, right? Um, Above whatever's in this song. This stuff, I mean, that's part of the reason why I couldn't connect to it because this stuff is just so generic and cookie cutter. It's just made for little kids. It's made for little kids in T-Mobile commercials. And so like it doesn't have any impact on me.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the way that like songs in Encanto definitely did, right? Encanto's not made for me either. I'm not pure Hispanic, I don't, that's not my background, so to speak. But I still resonated with it a lot, you know?
Mhm.
And again, like like Utada Hikaru is one of my favorite artists of all time. But even she'll tell you who her influences are. Like she grew up in New York City, she's bilingual, like all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm
So
not
it's
saying
it's a
I'm
personal opinion
yeah,
that
it's just a reflection. It's just
that it yeah
yeah.
that this is let's say
What is pop music?
well,
Yeah,
okay,
again,
without being okay, this is maybe a little harsh, but you're saying this is potentially a discount version of something that existed already for you personally.
Yeah.
This
So
is
that
this is the Chinese version of the Monster Man and the Lady versus Disney's Beauty and the Beast in the '90s or something. So it's the knockoff version a little bit of something that you really enjoyed for you
yeah, or
for
even
for
like
you.
the Lion King versus the Japanese Kimba,
Okay.
Kimba movies, Kimba the White Lion,
Hmm.
which is where they absolutely got it from, right? Where Disney absolutely got it from. This is a description of my own personal reflections. It's not a prescription of what anybody should or shouldn't do.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm not trying to gatekeep culture necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to boycott this movie. Like this, I'm not coming from that angle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just watching. It's like there's nothing about this that's particularly Korean, except for when they're singing or
Mhm.
rapping in Korean. But that's only like in little small spurts of the overall movie. Overall, this is just pop music.
Yeah,
So there's
it'd be
really
fascinating to talk to a fan of both the origins and K-pop and see what they think the Koreans did to make it their own.
yeah. I mean, the most that you can do to make your own is just to sing it in your own language. I mean, that's about as far because you can't make something that doesn't belong to your own. You can't make black music white music, or you can't make Korean folk music black music. Like no, Korean folk music has its roots and origins in Korea. Pop has its
What
roots
could?
and origins in the
Yeah,
in the in Black America,
yeah.
and so you can't change the thing to something that it's not. I'm just simply saying it's like I just found myself it's like, oh man, TLC Scrub Hunters would have been so much better, or Michael Jackson Demon Slayer would have been amazing. Beyonce Demon Slayer, Demon Hunter, Zombie Killer, whatever would have been amazing,
Yeah, and I think
and it
that
would,
comes back to the demographic. If that stuff was made
yeah.
in the '90s and the '80s, they probably would have been what we're experiencing now with this, because this is what kids are experiencing presently, like in music.
Yeah, and this is part of me is like, like these people, the people that like K-pop, I suspect a lot of them would not listen to like black R&B and black stuff, on their own, even though it's vastly superior music in most cases, in general, it's vastly superior music, and it's the music where the music you like comes from. I was like, man, I almost have half an idea of like figuring out some kind of publishing deal and just remaking the exact same songs that were popular in the '90s by black artists and just having Koreans do it because they won't listen to it when black people do it. But if a Korean does it, all of a sudden it's cool. You know what I'm saying? And if I could figure out a way to get the publishing on that, um, then then I can make like $150 million. That's all. Because people are eating this K-pop stuff up.
Hmm.
I don't get it. It's not particularly good music from my perspective, but
Okay, fair enough for you to have the opinion.
yeah.
All right. So we had gotten a message. I'm not sure if you want me to cover it still. About we had spoken earlier about God, and if they had mentioned God. Genobi had mentioned briefly that they did mention prayer at one point in the film, but they didn't yet. So yeah, they did, but they didn't go any further and paint a contrasting figure to this like great demon king. Um, I imagine if they move further, into the future with a sequel or something, they have a lot of stuff they could mine potentially coming up with him being there and then expanding the lore in the opposite direction. All this actually to some degree makes me think a little bit of Spawn. And yeah, Spawn, and Todd McFarlane's comics kind of covers some things vaguely similar,
No,
like underworlds and demons, and you know demons aren't as evil as you expect them to be, angels aren't as, yeah.
no, this whole movie is just an origin story for the Flame in Howl's Moving Castle. Remember that
Okay.
Flame?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's like He diced it, and then just a little flicker fell on the embers and just barely survived. And then
Yeah.
Howell put it in his furnace. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Mhm.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. That's my second least favorite Ghibli movie, by the way. Um, it
Yeah,
used to be my least
it's
favorite.
actually a little bit fascinating. I mean, yeah, we don't have the time to get into it, but interestingly enough, I think that story was written by someone not Japanese, and Japanese
Oh,
animator got
that's
a
that's
hold of it.
has a, that had a European, I think, an English author or something like
Yeah,
that.
uh-huh.
And
Which,
I think that's
look, I mean, the character Hal was probably, I don't know if he was meant to be Japanese in the original, but yeah, he looks like he's not Japanese, but yeah, we're not gonna go down that path because yeah, Japan has that. They make basically all their characters Japanese, even if they don't. To the naked eye, always appear to be so. But anyways, yeah, it's all right,
yeah.
Shinobi. Yeah, I figured either we went on a little long and you didn't want to, keep the comment. The fact that you accidentally erased it is totally okay. It is totally fine. Yeah. So I mean, look, we've gone on a little bit. I think, yeah, and if you guys made it all this way, y'all watched the movie already, I assume. If not, yeah, I think it's still a fun watch to go and check out if you have a Netflix subscription. I would not tell you to like get the subscription just for this film though. If there's a bunch of other
Yeah.
things you want to watch, fine, but it's yeah, it's not you know not a killer app necessarily for Netflix. But but I had a lot of fun watching it myself. So yeah. Any yeah, let's just wrap it up. Thanks for chilling with us guys.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Demon Slayer and
Infinity Castle,
yeah, that comes out this Friday, right?
the 12th, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm down to check that out. And I've actually been looking forward to seeing that movie. And I pray to God they don't have like 30 minutes or 45 minutes recap of episodes I've already seen. Oh, I'm gonna be tight. I'm gonna be hot if they do that. Make me pay to watch something I already watched.
Okay, I don't think so. I haven't looked this one up, but I
Pray,
thought this was just the new. This is an arc that they hadn't done yet, like with Mugen Train. But they
pray,
might
pray to
break my
God,
heart too.
pray to God that you're right. Pray to God Almighty. Do not have me watching 3 episodes that I've already seen. Like I don't know why they would betray the trust of people that watch Mugen Train by doing that, by having that recap movie and not market it as a recap movie. You going in there like, I already saw this episode. Why am I paying to watch it again in the theaters just for like 30 minutes of like new footage? Like that was a horrible decision. Oh, that was a terrible decision. It was like a squandering and a betraying of the trust of the audience. Anyway, hopefully they don't do that. I'm looking forward to this Infinity Castle because I didn't read that part in the manga. I'm looking forward to seeing it
Oh, you had
animated.
not. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I'll let myself be surprised. I don't like Zenitsu's character, but I like his power, and so I'm interested to see what he does. I mean, listen, if I was in the Demon Slayer world, I don't even know why anybody's messing around with any kind of water breathing or any like. Forget that
Okay.
lightning. Lightning is that's the only thing I'm interested
It
in.
is pretty OP
Bing
as
bang
usual.
bong done. I don't like
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
Hashira. Is there like a lightning Hashira? I don't know that there is.
I
Is there?
mean, I don't remember right now. It's been a while that I've read it. But look,
Yeah,
as
that
you know, like whenever they introduce speed, especially like almost unlimited speed in fiction, it just breaks everything. It literally breaks everything. I mean, I'm sorry to break all your Superman's fans' hearts. You probably already know. The Flash
Flash is
literally
faster.
slows himself down to have fun racing Superman. He would beat
Yeah,
him instantaneously. That's can That is canon. That is canon.
yeah.
Um,
I would rather be the Flash than Superman. Um, yeah.
yeah.
I'm all about the speed because if you can run fast enough, you can basically fly. Like there's nothing stopping you. You get a good running start, you just jump, like you're flying. Like you don't gotta. you're gliding or whatever. You're good.
Mm.
Anyway,
Okay, so I have found
yeah.
it. Infinity Castle is brand new material. It picks up from where season 4 left off. But, and I just learned this myself, and it deflates me a little bit. But it is the first of a 3-part movie
Oh, I
series.
already knew that. It's a trilogy. Yeah, I already knew that.
Okay,
That doesn't bother me.
okay. As long as
They
y'all
they
know,
they told us
because
that in the
okay,
last movie,
okay,
so I
good,
was already
good,
well aware of that.
good. Because I know for some people they may go in there like being like, oh man, this is gonna really go somewhere. This may cover the whole arc. This may not cover the whole arc. This is probably gonna be a cliffhanger. Be prepared.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm prepared for it to be a very much a part one. So yeah, that part doesn't bother me. I just hope it's not a year. Like I just hope it's like no more than like 3 months between parts.
Oh man, I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
hoping for.
I don't know. That I oh
Yeah,
actually, that I'll have to find out. We'll let you know next time after we watch the movie and talk about it when the next parts are coming out. But
yeah.
yeah, man. No, this was good, man. It was fun watching this film, chopping it up a little bit about it, and yeah, y'all got a little history lesson about things as well. And yeah, man. As always, thanks for watching us. We continue to try to be here on Mondays consistently at 8. Y'all want to come in and talk to us? We're still figuring some things out, but we're gonna get to communicating back with you guys live. As we're talking, it may take a little pause for us to finish a thought, but we 100% are wanting to continue to take advantage of this live format that we're doing. So, any other closing remarks, Austin?
Uh, Wu Tang is for the children.
All right, man. And with that, we will close it out. You guys, God bless y'all. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for supporting us. We ask if you enjoy the content to continue to support us in whatever way you choose. And yeah, come on back next week so that we talk about Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
Kimitsu no Yaiba,
Have a good night.
Infinity Castle.
Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified for all of our latest live streams. And until next time, God bless you. And yeah, man, Godspeed.